The ring. Mary showed me with immense delight the ring Carden had given her to celebrate their engagement. A handsome ring, though not at all of the kind usually given on such an occasion. It was like Carden to search the second-hand jewellery shops for something strange and uncommon, and to present his fiancée with a fine specimen of medieval Italian workmanship. I, personally, took an instant dislike to it, from the moment I saw it on Mary's pretty finger. There was something sinister about it, I thought. A plain gold ring, set with a single blood-red stone that glowed sullenly. Hearing that it was medieval and Italian, I begged Carden to make sure that it contained no secret poisoned needle, calculated to put an abrupt and painful end to the wearer's life, and with commendable promptitude he submitted the ring to an expert in these matters, who in due course reported that no such device was present, and that no fears of poisoning need be entertained. As far as any physical danger was concerned, my fears were allayed by the expert's report, but I was unable to shake off my fears of a more subtle danger. For there were times when the very fires of hell seemed to me to burn in the glowing red heart of that terrible, sullen red stone. Mary, however, was serenely happy, and clearly unaffected by any such evil influence as my imagination had conjured up, and I had, perforce, to ascribe my fears to sheer superstition. I was travelling in Italy when the first intimation of trouble reached me. Mary, it seemed, was suffering from some obscure form of heart complaint that was baffling the experts, who appeared to agree upon no single point, except that the patient's life was in serious danger. The only symptom was a curious sensation of tightness around the heart, as though it was being slowly squeezed to death. At once all my fears regarding the ring returned in force, and I hastened back to London filled with forebodings. I found Mary depressed and unhappy, an unusual condition for one so merry and cheerful. She fidgeted constantly with the ring as though it irked her. "It's so tight," she complained. "It seems to get a little tighter every day. Oh, I wish I could get it off." It was only then that I noticed a curious thing. Mary's features had vaguely changed, and she bore now a resemblance to a portrait in the National Gallery, the portrait of Fiammetta, wife of Cosimo della Strada, who died in 1432. Even as I looked, the likeness faded away, and I wondered if I were not the victim of hallucination. I decided, however, to consult Giovanni Spina, an authority on many curious matters, and he, on hearing my story, confirmed and even increased my fears. The matter was urgent, he said, and that night he would risk a dangerous experiment. The only persons present were Mary, Carden, Spina, and myself. In the darkened room the stone in Mary's ring glowed and glowed until it seemed to envelop her in a mist of blood-red light. Spina uttered some words in sonorous Latin. Mary, whose features had completely changed, muttered in Italian, "Oh, Cosimo, how I hate you, I who loved you so." Again Spina spoke, and now a look of perfect peace and happiness spread over Mary's features. A black shadow seemed to hover for a moment in the red mist of light, and suddenly the room was dark, and the stone had ceased to glow. Spina sighed and switched on the light. Mary, the old happy Mary, sat up in her chair, and the accursed ring slipped off her finger and rolled into a corner of the room. Carden picked it up and subsequently threw it into the Thames, where it shall remain, impotent for evil, until the day of judgment.